All right, all right, all right. It's the David Washington Show with yours truly, David Washington. Woo! All right, so the dust is slowly settling. There's still a lot of talk about the presidential debate, and it's Sunday after the first 2024 presidential debate between former President Donald J. Trump and President Joseph Biden. And a lot of people have a lot to say, particularly what a shitty performance Joe Biden had Thursday night compared to what the expectations were. All right. So let me share a story with you. In college, my best friend, his name is Shaw. He and I would love to have these pickup games of basketball pickup games, where we'll go one on one, or we'll play, other dudes, on campus, off the campus, whatever. And when he and I played one on one, we go at it. We went at it, with guys that we played against. So I learned something. I wasn't the most athletic young man at that time. However, I always thought I had some common sense and some smarts about me to make me a better athlete against the guys I was playing. So one of the things I learned about playing basketball, and now that I play tennis more than I do basketball, I apply this to tennis. Part of my strategy was allowing the first game in the series of games. We'll play, the best out of three, the best out of five. Learning to drop that first game, however risky, helped me understand how the other person or team was going to perform. It helped me understand what their level of skill was. It helped me understand what the type of play they were. Were they really physical? Did they have a dominant inside game or a very good passing game? Were they as athletic as they, presented to be? And of course, it helped me understand, especially if it's someone I don't even know. We have a pickup game on the playground or something, or the basketball court, and I don't know these guys from nowhere. It's like, okay, let me understand how they play. So I'll keep, if it was just me one on one, or if it was Shaw and I playing, another, dual guys, let's say, Shaw, let's not go all out in this first game. Let's not show them everything, but let's see what they are going to show us. And then I will have to tell you, maybe 75 to 80% of the time, the other team will just go at it. I mean, really, they will go after that first game and give it their all, show us everything they had in their arsenal. Okay, so we'll lose that first game. But that second, that third game, we usually won. And I'm not talking about just, guys, who just show up just to show up. I remember one time, this has happened a couple of times. Shaw and I defeated a couple of varsity basketball players. We just played well better, and we understood their strategy. So I mention this. One thing, you may have lost the battle, that one game, that one debate. But if you're thinking long term, you're going to win the series. The best out of three, the best out of five, the best out of seven. You're going to win that war. You're going to win the presidency. So I mentioned this, and I took some time to take in the debate. If you saw our live reaction podcast of the presidential debate on our You Can't Make This Shit Up channel or on the Jay and Washington Network, you saw in the analysis after the debate, we were quite passionate, and like many people, and I could tell in the comments that we've received on either side, folks were emotional. I wanted to do a response, a personal, professional response to our analysis and to our debate as quickly as I can. However, not so quick that I don't take that is filled with a lot of emotions and feelings. And I just want to bring out the facts. And this is where Joe Biden comes into play, because when I saw him wobble up to that podium, I was like, no, this is not good. This is no. What? Wait a second. I mean, I'm on record saying, hey, Joe Biden needs to show up as the same Joe Biden who gave the State of the Union address. We needed to see Dark Brandon. We need to see that Joe Biden. And when it was within those first few minutes, and usually it just takes a few minutes for me. For most people, maybe the first 10, 20 minutes, but the first few minutes, I knew this was not going well. This is the Joe Biden we saw Thursday night at the debate was not the Joe Biden we need. That's obvious. Donald Trump, on the other hand, let me take it aside here. Donald Trump, on the other hand, as far as presentation, the optics, he did well. He did incredibly well, in my belief. He was in control. He spoke through the camera lens and spoke to his supporters. And that was great, despite the fact he lied. I mean, lots of lies. There's no doubt that he had a lot of mistruths, half-truths, misinformation, just flat out lies. He was fact-checked. We fact-checked them. Lies. Period. But presentation, A+. So back to Joe Biden and his half-ache here. And I was talking to my mother, who's a big political in her own right. I say, Mom, Joe Biden, if I'm right about this, and I firmly got my tinfoil hat on here, if I'm right about my hypothesis about his performance, he deserves an Emmy for his performance. I believe the Biden campaign purposely set the bar low. They set the bar low. Now remember, it was the Biden administration who set the rules for this debate, and also the one in September. It was the Biden administration who said that there will be no fact checking by the moderators during this debate. Mics will be cut off. No third party candidates, unless they meet a certain threshold, are able to participate. No live audience. Early debate in the summer when most Americans are doing summer things. Why not also predetermine your debate performance? A whole week at Camp David, Biden and his campaign advisors met, prepared, strategized for this one night. and he laid a dud. And sure, for those novices who just come out and say, "Oh, Joe Biden won the campaign. He started off slow, but he picked up steam." Yeah, Trump was right. Some of the things I just could not follow. I just couldn't. He made some good points, but fuck, did I really have to know that much about their golf games? No, fuck no. Anyway, Biden, I think, was clever. If in fact my hypothesis is correct. And again, but for our friends who have commented on um, our live stream of the debate, and also my Sunday recent Sunday appearance on Live Now on Fox with Stephanie Quinn Yu. Um, for those who like, oh my god, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Well, hear me out, and I know you already have your mindset, but hear me out. And let's look at the historical facts here. You know, let's look at you know President Obama's first debate with Mitt Romney, and there's no way I'm comparing Obama's first debate with Mitt Romney in 2012. Who and Obama said it was a stinker. It was bad. I remember that. I remember that. I'm older than what I look like, and I remember that debate. I even remember that first debate with a 70-something-year-old Ronald Reagan and a 56-year-old Walter Mondale, where Ronald Reagan said he was going to take advantage of Walter Mondale's youth and inexperience. Remember that, or do you? Reagan bombed in that. And then let's not forget how well Hillary Clinton, Secretary Hillary Clinton, did against then candidate Donald J. Trump in all three of her debates. Now, looking at history, have you ever heard the words in this reality, factual reality? President Walter Mondale, President Mitt Romney, or even President Hillary Clinton? No. Governor Romney went on to become a senator. Walter Mondale went on to retire. Secretary Clinton went on to warn everyone about Donald J. Trump. So when you're looking at things through a historical context, it does put things in perspective. And remember, there's going to be another debate, and I expect to see the dark Brandon Biden of the State of the Union, the Friday after the first debate, Joe Biden. That's the Joe Biden I expect to see. And Donald Trump will likely go ahead and debate him in September because Donald can't help himself. Donald and his campaign showed, I think, their strategy. They showed, if not most, all of their cards during the debate. Now we know what to expect from the Trump campaign, from Donald Trump, during the next debate. If I was the Republicans, I will run every meme, sound clip, whatever in regards to this performance by Joe Biden from now leading into their convention in a couple of weeks, in about 3 weeks. And as far as the Democrats, a little advice: get behind Joe Biden. Unless there's something catastrophic about his health, and right now, he's a healthy guy for an 81-year-old. But right now, or however old he is, right now, He's all you've got to take you into November. Switching airplanes, switching horses, switching cars, switching candidates at the top of your ticket would be politically suicide, political suicide. Stand by Joe Biden, Democrats, as the Republicans are standing by 34-time convicted felon Donald J. Trump. Put that in perspective. Also, a little historical fact here. I agree with Dr. Alan Lichtman in his 13 keys to the White House. Again, I mentioned Dr. Lichtman several times before. I will be ordering his next book about the keys to the White House, and read some other books. I'm referring back to what was that book called? Oh God, I can't remember. Eisenberg. The Victory Lab. Yes. Hat tip to my friend Jim Callahan. But the Victory Lab. I'll be referring back to that book. And also, of course, I'm reading Dr. Louis Perron's current book. You got to look at the fact that we're not in a recession because the economy, that was the first question out of the box. Out of the box. First question, the economy. And it's about the economy, period. It may feel a certain way to certain Americans. However, on paper, and even in reality, because I see the malls, the parking lots, the Home Depots, the grocery stores. I pay $10 for like a dozen and a half eggs. And I get it. And those aren't just regular store bought eggs. I go to a market where they're hatched from a certain place, and avoid all the ingredients. I mean, not ingredients, but the chemicals and not. But that's a different story. But I get it. But I see people getting gas all the time. I see people shopping. Where I live, I see so many Amazon deliveries. It's unbelievable. I see so many Uber Eats and DoorDash deliveries. My goodness. DoorDash, Uber Eats, that's expensive. The economy is the best and the envy of the world right now. Nothing's perfect. We understand that. I don't like paying $3.30 for gas. I don't. But if I have to, I will, because I need to get to places. There's no major war that America has troops involved in. There is no war that American troops are involved in, as far as I'm aware of. The war in Ukraine, the war in Gaza. If those two wars, or any war that may pop up between here and November, get nasty and ugly and involves further involvement by the United States with actual boots on the ground, that's going to be detrimental to Biden's reelection campaign. That's it. And then also, it's a nice summer day here in beautiful Central Florida. There's no protests. People are knocking on doors, talking to voters, having press conferences, photo opportunities, meet and greets. But there's no uprising that's causing, the world to shut down here in America. There's no protests that are defining a generation. Seems like everyone's okay with how things are for the most part. See people jogging in the park, having a good time going to markets, farmer markets, going out to dinner, spending money, enjoying one another, friends and family, going on vacation. Hey, we're here in Central Florida. The family vacation center of the universe. Orange County, Florida reported record, record tax receipts in April or May, one of those months this past spring. Record visits, record tax receipts. Where's the uprisings? Where are the protests of significance? Sounds like the economy's doing really well. Steakhouses are full. Lines around the corner, all around at Disney, Universal. Things are looking good for the Biden administration and its reelection in November. Period. It is likely, because of these things and other factors, of course, that here's my prediction because of many factors today, if the election is held tomorrow, I think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will win re-election. Despite the debate performance by Joe Biden. My Democratic friends, my liberal friends, it's probably something you love to hear. And also, I'm sorry to kind of piss on your enthusiasm. Florida is not in play. Let's just call it as we see it, okay? Florida is not in play. However, right now, if the election were to held tomorrow, Joe Biden will win re-election. Again, we're 5 months out from election day, and anything can happen. Anything. But remember, you have the Democratic convention in late August. So you're gonna get bells and whistles and balloons and fireworks. Celebrating the Democratic Party and Democrats, hopefully for them, looking at their numbers, will say, "Hey, we have a chance to take back the House of Representatives and improve upon our numbers on the Senate." Maybe the Dems will be able to push back on the growing support for the MAGA movement across many demographics that in the past have looked at the Democrats and said, hey, we're with the Democrats, but now shedding some support. But again, these are unusual times and anything can happen between now and November 5th, 2024. But again, it's a stretch, and once in a while I like to dabble in conspiracy theories. Perhaps the Biden campaign did set the bar so low in this past debate that moving forward, and particularly the debate in September, that matters because it's closer to vote by mail and early voting. But perhaps things could change. Perhaps the Biden administration is able to show that they got a good poker face. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some Hollywood producers at Camp David with the Biden campaign. It's, it's not unfamiliar for Hollywood people to be with a campaign. A friend of mine and I were talking earlier, and he's like, my wife was telling me that what happened during the debate with Biden reminded her of an episode of The West Wing where the VP performed so badly on purpose. Is this the tail wagging the dog? Oh boy. But there's nowhere but up in debate performance for President Joe Biden. And perhaps maybe he dropped the first one. Maybe he dropped the first one so that he can win the series. But what do I know? I've been doing this for 35 odd years and I enjoy what I do. And I appreciate the fact that you're here with me, enjoying what I do and listening. And I appreciate it. And thank you. And if you enjoy our content, I really appreciate it if you comment. And that means a lot to us because it drives what we do. And commenting helps me become a better political innovator. Commenting helps me respond to what's on your mind. Commenting is part of the communication that keeps our community connected, keeps our community engaged. And I want you to help us grow our community. I spread the word, like our content, share our content with as many people that you know, your family, your friends, influencers, those politicals and electeds that you know who could benefit and enjoy this content. I love what I do. I really do. And this has been great. There's some great things that are happening. Please check out our content on our website, Jay in Washington, across our Jay in Washington network, our socials, our podcasts. Of course, you have our flagship podcast, You Can't Make This Shit Up. We've got my business partner, Joe Hawksley's The Morning Constitution. You have, I guess, my favorite, Countertop Politics every Monday of campaign insight, political innuendo, and the secret sauce to winning campaigns. I'm this close, I'm really this close to guaranteeing a win for your campaign if you follow the strategy. There's a whole lot to that, but we could talk about that later. And of course, please like, share, and let people know about this program, The David Washington Show. I really appreciate you all, and thank you. Thank you so much.